I strongly support public employees' right to collectively bargain. It was something that I made a big step to try and stop and to slow down the process and let people understand what was happening when I and my colleagues went to Illinois. I support Senate Bill 233, which is a bill written by Senator Risser and all of the other Senate Democrats. I'd like to see that bill come forward very early in the next session. It's already been written. It needs to get passed. I wouldn't rule out vetoing the budget, but I think that the strategy is flawed for a number of reasons. First of all, there's broad public support for collective bargaining for public employees. Everywhere I go, even in non-union areas, people believe that workers should have the right to collectively bargain. It's part of democracy. It's part of our American way. In the private sector, it's been part of our history for 100 years. In the public sector, it's been part of our history for 50 years. It's much more likely to pass on its own than any other way. And if you doubt me, recall what happened in 2007 when we put Healthy Wisconsin, the Senate Democrats put Healthy Wisconsin into the budget, and the budget didn't pass, and it didn't pass, and it didn't pass until very late that fall. And when I think about how to change things, I think that changing this starts on the very first day of the new governor's, when the new governor is sworn in. Because right now we have many difficult state problems, and we'll be able to touch on a few of them today, but there's a lot more that I can tell you about what's happening in state government that's wrong. And the answers to finding how to resolve those things that are wrong lie within the wisdom of the public employees. The state workers have the wisdom and the knowledge and the expertise, but they have been muzzled by the current administration. They have been told that they cannot speak out. And as executive, we all know, if you own or operate a business or have been a manager, you know, our human resources are our most important resources. And any wise administrator lifts up the voice of those workers and says, you and I are in partnership together, and together we will solve the problems of the state, that the state faces. And that needs to happen on day one for the new governor. And by changing the tone and by showing how state workers can help solve these very difficult, complicated problems, I do believe that public support will continue to grow. And we will find, even with a very small, I will say, Republican majority in the Assembly, and I don't believe that we should cede the Assembly to the Republicans, but say it does happen. And absolutely, I don't believe we should cede it. I completely agree with what Doug said. But if it happens, remember, I know who those Republican legislators are. I work with them because I live in the swing districts in western Wisconsin, where many of those, recently, those rookie Republicans were elected. I know them, I've worked with them, I have relationships with them, and I remember 4 of them did not vote for Act 10. And I believe we can find support among the moderate Republicans and get this passed. Thank you.